Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Bikini and the Brain. Today we are here with two bikinis. As you guys remember, this is Elizabeth. She's been here. We've kind of heard her story, but we have not heard from Tutu Tina.
Here I am, in the flesh.
Who is an NPC level competitor trying to get a pro card. But, I thought today would be a good opportunity to do a podcast because, Ashley's away right now. She is in Ohio already. We said we weren't going to do the podcast, but we have these two lovely ladies getting their butt kicked every day.
Every day.
Twice a day. These are, so as you guys thought, we talked about earlier in the year, we're going to do the bikini prep house where girls are going to be staying at the house for a long period of time and really working on growing and telling the story behind everything. And then Phoebe was there, and then there was a issue at the house, and the whole house is like, it was a
floor.
Yeah, basically we had to rip out all the floors, and now we're remodeling it. I have an architect like redoing the whole house now. But in the meantime, I was like, you know what, Elizabeth and Tina, do you guys want to come out and do the prep house? Because they both applied. Like, you guys want to come out and do it because you just have to deal with there's no floors right now at the house.
I just wear slippers. It's okay.
Yeah, like at the because we had that water issue. But they've been doing it for the last 2 months. 2 months now. Exactly. Yeah. And so I figured, we can go into what's happened and how they've been responding to working out twice a day and this type of adventure that they've been on, which is really cool to see.
Crazy.
It was really cool that you guys got to live that,
live bodybuilding.
Yeah. Live bodybuilding.
Just
so
train our asses off.
I had a lot of people asking me about how it was going, and people are still trying to apply and stuff to it. And, we'll do something with it again. It's just obviously we learned a lot about it. One, I learned that having someone in the house for 9 months is probably a really long time. Because you guys are here for 2 months, and it's
and it feels like long time.
Yeah.
It feels like forever. I feel like I've lived here
leave.
Because the original time was 9 months, and then I was like, man, that would have been a full I think 3 months probably is the better route. 2-3 months.
Yeah. So with this training program.
Well, just in general, really, I mean, if you're 9 months, you're pretty much going to live here. It's full on living here.
Basically.
And we also found out that you guys, a lot of people wanted to come from overseas, and you can't stay here more than 6 months, which is something that she's ran into.
Yeah.
A little bit of an issue that we'll go into. But I think what everyone is interested in hearing is the 2-a-day workout, the food. I mean, I think the lifestyle is going to be a little bit important for people to hear about, you living in Vegas now and how that is, especially yours is very normal. You live in California.
Yeah, it's kind of the same.
Yeah, so it's not a huge difference.
It's not.
But for you, it was huge.
Yeah.
And then I think that's where most of the interest is how has that worked? How has the 2-a-day thing worked? How do you feel? So what are your guys', so for someone who wants to do this, go all in on a bikini prep, just basically just do bodybuilding for 2 months, 3 months, whatever.
Off season.
Yeah,
right?
off season. Mm-hmm. What would be your advice? What has your experience been so far? How do you feel? What's your experience so far?
You want to go first?
Yeah, sure. That's a big question. I would say I was trying to prepare myself for it, but you can't. It's
You just got to, what's Ashley say? Dive in.
Oh, we needed one. Damn it. It's still there. I thought I had 1 week without the physical diving motion.
You just got to dive in and do it.
She did it for you, Ashley. If you're watching.
You're welcome.
Damn it.
Can't escape it.
It's been 3 years straight of my life.
I love it. Just finds a way to get in.
We've been doing the podcast a lot if we know what each other are going to do before we do it. So
I love that. What were we going to say?
Yeah, I have to think about it actually. What do you think?
Preparing for it, mentally or physically?
No, just in general, how it's been.
I feel like a roller coaster. I feel like some days I'm really into it and I'm really motivated. I mean, it's like prep, I guess. One day I'm like, oh, I'm killing it. I'm so excited. And then the next day I feel like almost like the repercussions of your nervous system just being tapped. I feel just so tired, but I'm like, well, I got to go work out still. I still got to follow the program because, I mean, that's what I'm out here for. I basically want to optimize my time out here and get the best results possible. So you just kind of push through. Some days I feel like a robot. I'm like, just get through it.
So you guys have kind of an idea what they're talking about. They're doing it's almost it's a very specific workout, but very few people have done it. And I've had a lot of clients, since you guys have been doing it, kind of ask me to do it. And I'm like,
oh, really?
I'm like, you're not in any position to do this. don't do it. Like they'll be
It's
like, well,
tough.
maybe I could do it like 1 day a week or 2 days a week. And I'm like, it doesn't really like, it's not really a works that way thing. Like you need to like build it up and then take a break and then build it up and take a break. So you guys understand what's going on with their workout. They're working out very specifically to build the glutes and the legs. That's where most of the priority is in the workout, but all their workouts every day of the week, well, not every day of the week, but all their workouts are 2-a-day workouts. So they come in the morning, they do a high rep workout, they get a good pump going. And then when their nervous system is like optimal and they're 4 hours to 6 hours later where their muscular system is really able to contract optimally, everything's fired up from the earlier workout in the day, they come in and they hammer with a heavy workout, with a harder workout later in the day. So it's like a priming workout and then a, hard workout, and they're eating, sleeping, living bodybuilding. They're doing nothing else. So this wouldn't be a thing where, it would make a lot of sense if you're playing a sport on top of it. If you were, even if your work was like super active, that might get in the way. You need to be really set up for your recovery. You need to be, I would say most people need to be in an off-season type of calorie surplus.
Yeah, you need the food.
The food is huge.
Yeah.
So it's a very specific thing, but they've both been able to make some pretty huge improvements on them.
I feel like I have.
Yeah. Tina has more recomped a little bit more than anything, but you put on, where are you at now? 4,
I actually lost a little bit of weight in my last check-in.
your last check-in, but you're up 4 pounds?
No, like 3.
3 now?
It's like fluctuated a little
Yeah.
bit. But
She's more recomping, but Tina's
Yeah.
really small too. So
I'm tiny. Tiny Tina.
What are you, what's your height?
5 foot. Well, I'm 4'11" and 5'8" to be exact.
So just so you guys know, any girl who ever says she's 5 foot, question it, because anyone who's like 4'10", 4'9" and a half or whatever, they're always going to say 5 foot.
bit.
Yeah. Everyone always pushes to 5 foot. Guys do it too, but the 4 foot
round
girls always round up 1 to 2 inches.
Yeah.
I've never had a girl tell me she's like 4'10". Like unless they're like 4'9" or less, they'll
Well,
tell
I'm
me.
I'm 4'11" and 5'8". Like that's
Every girl.
what somebody going to pull out a ruler and be like, well, let me check. Hold on.
No, it only matters because of like when you're trying to figure out someone's height and like weight for a show, that type of thing, But other than that, it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's so funny because I've had like bikini pros that are like 5 foot too. I'm like, are you actually 5 foot? Because you weigh less than I thought you would weigh if you're 5 foot. And they're like, I'll find out they're 4'10". I'm like, oh, that's why, because that inch is
That's
like
why.
every inch is like 4 pounds on a stage weight. It's like around there. So it's like,
That makes sense.
yeah, I'm like, why are you so light? Like, why are you 92 pounds on stage? I'm like, well, and they're like, man, you're 5 foot. And they're like, oh, well, I'm actually 4'10". I'm like, oh, okay. Now, I was like, are you dieted down to? Like, what's going on? Like, oh, no, you're not 5 foot. So,
Is there really competitors that are like 90 pounds?
oh yeah, like that are 4'10". Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's all relative. Like if most competitors, so most top like bikini pros that are 5'5" are around 120. That's
Okay.
like, I would say like 90% of them on stage are around 120.
Okay.
122. You might get some that are just a little more petite that are like 115, more that are a little more muscular might be like 125, maybe 126 or like that. But most of them, 120. So, it's like, and then it's almost like 5 pounds an inch for the most part. Like when you get down to 5'3", it's like 115, 112. And then 5 foot, 5 pounds an inch, that's 100 pounds. So 4'11", about 90 pounds. I mean,
Yeah.
it's definitely, that's just a rough rule of thumb, but it seems to be pretty consistent, with how shredded the girls are these days. So, but anyway, and Elizabeth, she has put on 11 pounds,
Yeah, approximately something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
5 kilo, 4 point something kilo. So yeah, it's been pretty good. And she's been staying lean. Probably put on maybe, I would say out of those 11 pounds, maybe 3 of them tops are body fat, but she's done really well. We've been pushing it really hard.
Yeah.
So you guys know too, I coach Elizabeth directly. Ashley coaches Tina directly. And Tina's going more of a surplus, but more of a recomp as well, where
Yeah.
she's kind of leaning out and doing it. Elizabeth came in pretty shredded. We've been staying really, really lean. So I said, listen, we're just going to go for it and just go full gain. And we got a little soft 1 week, and then we ended up like dieting down for like a week just to keep it in check.
Yeah.
But it wasn't even a week. It was like 4 days.
5.
5 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did have some like digestion issues to begin with, and my waistline went like up and felt a bit softer.
Yeah.
But then after the deload and the cut, I feel like my body has just been working so well
Yeah.
in our advantage. Yeah. And we increased the calories again, and I feel very good now.
Okay. So as far as we will go back into it, doing the 2-a-day workouts, how do you prepare for something like that? How has it worked for you and your body? One thing I'll also let you guys know in advance, with these 2-a-day workouts, it's been It's about every 30 days, 4 weeks, we've done a deload now. Yeah, we've done a deload where they physically needed it.
Yeah.
Like
my body was
Yeah.
like screaming for it. I
Yeah.
had to listen to I mean, I didn't want to because I'm like, I want to still go get a pump and still feel like tight and good, but my body thanked me so much. I came back and I mean, I still felt like a bowl of Jell-O afterwards. I'm like, I haven't worked out in forever. I don't feel the same, but my body, I felt so like primed and fresh after the deload. I will never like discredit a deload ever again.
Yeah.
I think it's very, very helpful.
Yeah. So, and that's something I think for everyone out there when you're pushing it. And so a deload is essentially what it sounds like. You're taking time off the gym, and it's time off the gym to let your nervous system recover, let your muscles fully recover. Because when we work out in the gym, a lot of times people don't understand you're working out 3 different systems in the gym. You're working out your muscular system, right, which is never going to really run into any issues. Your muscular system can be beat up, it can recover. It's not a problem. You running into overtraining because your muscular system is so taxed is like the odds of that happening for a bodybuilder is almost unheard of. For someone who did sports, maybe, if you're, running like track and field or, you're doing cross country or something like that where it's like repetitive. Yeah, maybe in something like that. Maybe even like a CrossFit when you're training for like a big competition or something, that would probably be the only time. But when it comes to bodybuilders, it's like an hour a day workout, hour and a half workout, total accumulated time. It's not going to fry up your muscular system. Now, your nervous system, though, will get fried, and you train that. You train that in the gym, you train your nervous system, you also train your skeletal system. So 3 different systems you're working, and all of them need recovery. Muscular system is going to be the fastest at recovering out of those 3. So you accumulate this beat up on your body, and eventually you need to let your body just kind of heal, your joints, they need to like a little time off of lifting heavy weight, your nervous system.
Because I'm like, I mean, I'm not young, but I'm not old, but I'll feel like my hips will start to kind of ache, or I have to do yoga every morning.
Oh, yeah? So you're doing yoga on top of the workouts, too?
I mean, not like aggressive yoga, but I just stretch and I do my foam rolling and stuff, and I really do my recovery because I notice a huge difference when my mobility is on point and I'm stretched out and I'm just more mobile, it feels better. And then I feel more primed in my lifts. So
how it's worked is it, so we've done a deload. You did a deload. I remember that's once so far, but that was at the beginning of February, or was it the end of?
It's 2 weeks ago, huh?
I think it was the end of.
So we went 4 weeks, then a deload. Then now we're doing 4 weeks again and then a deload.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's 4 weeks accumulated time is what they went through. I wasn't sure if it was 3 or 4. So 4 weeks and then a deload, and then a deload. Yeah, it's been basically a week of time or so. And they're going to be doing it again, and it's going to be their last month doing this, and then they're going to head to California. And she's going to head to where are you going to go? Denmark?
Home to the Faroe Islands.
Oh, Faroe Islands. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So anyway, so as far as that goes, let's go into the deload, and obviously you accumulated the workouts, your nervous system's fried. You went into a deload. So what did you guys do during the deload? So people kind of understand what you guys go through and what it was like.
We went on a hike. We got a lot of steps in because I can't just sit. There's no way. I'm like, I still want to go be active. So, we went on a hike one day. The other day, we went and explored Vegas, went down the Strip, walked around there.
Yeah. And that was our way of getting like cardio in as well, because we used the deload as a mini cut. For me, especially because I gained a bit of I was getting a bit soft. So we did a mini cut during the deload, but we decided to use steps instead. So I were to hit 16,000 steps a day, or an hour cardio on the treadmill.
She was so good too. If it was 10 p.m. and she was only at 13,000 steps, she'd be like, I gotta go get my steps. I'm gonna go on a little walk.
Yeah,
dang. So we made sure we were active. I'm trying to think what else we did. We went to Build-A-Bear. We made bears.
I saw that.
We just did
Tina and Elizabeth. Yeah.
I'm glad you guys finally got to Vegas. The one I've been giving them a lot of crap about it. I'm like, you guys, you're here in Vegas, you're living this Bible lifestyle, and all you're doing, you might as well just be at home. All they do is they just sit in the house and then come work out, and then they sit in the house, and I'm like, you guys, dude.
We don't sit in the house. We're doing chores, and I'm doing. I feel like I'm always cooking food too. That's
let's say they didn't live the Vegas. I was like, I want you guys to
We
get
could've
out,
done a little
like
more.
especially you. I was like, Tina, I was like, she's down, she's a few hours away, but I was like, you Elizabeth, like you're from a small area, like you need to get out there. But so you guys, they did go to
different
Area
world.
15 though. That's funny.
Oh, we
Yeah,
did
we
that.
have.
Yeah,
Yeah,
finally. It
that's
took me
right.
like forever to get them to go. I asked them like 8 times. I'm like, I'm done with you guys. Like, go do it on your own.
And we finally went.
Yeah.
What else did we do?
Well, I just think that I'm so like set up to this, like everything that we schedule and do is out from our trainings and like from the food. So that's our first priority in everything. And I guess that's why we haven't been doing that much. But in our deload, yeah, we did.
We took advantage because we're like, we don't have to work out. We can go expend our energy elsewhere and do
Yeah.
all
A little
this
bit,
crazy
yeah.
stuff.
That's another
was
thing I
fun.
think was good for. I think that Tina, you've always been good at balancing it, from what I see at least. And then, but I think that you've really, one of the things you even posted about the other day was learning that you could still be super dedicated to your plan without being so robotic.
Yeah.
And I think that that's the only key to like longevity.
Yes.
Very few people can be robotic about it, where it's like just chicken, just broccoli forever. And I remember we went out and we ate just chicken and stuff, and you were like,
Get
it's
the
been-
Mexican food.
yeah, and you were like, it's been a year since you ate at a restaurant, or was it like,
Yeah.
how many, was it a year? So
Yeah, something
that's
like that.
one thing that I think that, and I always tell people like, your goal, your actions have to line up with your goals, but you also have to find a way to do this long term, because it's going to burn you out if you don't.
Yeah.
And it happens to everyone, and people get real excited about it. They do it for a long time, and there's nothing else, that's all their only dedication. They're like laser focused, but then they realize like it affects their personal life too much. And so one thing I've noticed that you've been really good at is you've been learning how to, go out and eat your chicken and do your things and still have a balanced life, which has been really great for me to see.
Yeah.
Because I know that you'll last that way.
Yeah.
Because you have the girls that are all or none, and I will say you've been really, really good at being all,
Yeah.
You've been all and I'm like, she's good, but I've done this for so long. I've seen really only one person long-term last like that, Ashley, right? Who's been able to just be like, just chicken, and she's super happy with it. And I would never mess with her thing because it works for her and she's been doing it for so long. But, where she doesn't where it doesn't build up, but everyone else who's like done that, I've seen just eventually have that part where they
They get burnt out.
Yeah. And they're just like, they either
Yeah.
stop bodybuilding entirely, they just don't check in anymore. And then the next thing you know, you see them like 6 months later on Instagram, they put on 30 pounds. You're like,
Yeah.
Whoa.
just, if you just would have had one free meal a week, you would have been like, you wouldn't have wanted that
Yeah.
so much. You would
Yeah.
have,
Like the 80-20.
it affects personal life. So I'm really happy that you've done
Absolutely.
that. You've been able to not even learn, you already knew how to do it. It's just that you've been able to let yourself be a little bit more free and know that you could still be on plan while being, while having, life outside of just Tupperware,
For sure. I would say that's maybe the biggest learning that I've had so far here. And I would not expect that, like how to balance my life and be flexible while still staying on track. And it's what we have talked a lot about too. It's the thing, it's this thing with like, I'm so self-disciplined, but I have to be careful that it's always me in control of my discipline and not vice versa. Like, because sometimes I feel like it's my discipline that's actually controlling my life. And that's what I kind of want to switch up. And I think it's going
gotten better.
Yeah.
We've both gotten better.
It's been great.
I think it's good because that's the thing. When your discipline's getting in the, here's the thing, there's 100%, there's many ways of being 100%. And I think some people think that bodybuilding you can only be 100% if you're doing your 2-a-day cardio sessions, if you're eating chicken, tilapia and asparagus, and anything less than that isn't prep. And I'm like, no, there's many ways to prep.
No, look at Kimber. She kills it.
Yeah,
she has so much flexibility, and I really admire her.
She's all in prep right now. We went to church yesterday, then we went to poke, and she does the things that are, she weighs her food there, but she's eating regular things, and it's like she's having normal life. We go to chicken and eat teriyaki bowls, whatever. She just gets no sauce. It's very doable, and I think that people need to understand that that's still 100%. I think people think it's less than 100%. And I'm like, no, that's still 100%.
Yeah.
We're not macro dieting where we're doing Pop-Tarts and junk and stuff like that, in prep. But that's long term, if she wants to do, who knows how many shows she's going to do this year. She says she wants to do a lot. We'll see how it goes. You see how the season goes and plays out. But, that's how she's going to
She has
do
a
it.
ability.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, she's
Yeah.
cruising right now in prep. Like it's not
Yeah,
killing
she's
her, you know.
great.
So
yeah.
that's what I think is, and if you're the person who needs to be, you know, that 100% where you're only doing tilapia and asparagus like during prep, whatever. Like, you know, I guess if that's you, that's you. But you know, for periods of time while you're in your off season, especially, like you got to loosen it up a little bit. I think it's
Yeah.
important, you know, because
It's crazy how many places like the greens and proteins place I found for us to go eat. They have their complete macro breakdown of, and it was healthy.
yeah,
I mean, gluten free, whatever, but just you can eat out, you can make it work.
Yeah.
You know, and still stay within reason. It's not considered a refeed meal because you're not going over your calories, but it's just,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's nice because you feel like you're eating out and eating a treat, but it's still within reason and still healthy.
Yeah. 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 I guess it's been coming from this, like, where bodybuilding eventually came from, with this no pain, no gain, and like
Gotta be
working
hardcore.
hard, and like the earlier you go up in the morning, like put your hat on and just like work out at 5 a.m. like 4 a.m. maybe. It's like we're moving away from that.
yeah.
Like, and that's good. Like,
Yeah.
why?
I think people wear the suffering as a badge of honor. Like
Yeah.
the more I can
Yep.
suffer, the better I am.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, the more you suffer, the less sustainable it is.
Yeah.
Your results are the same either way. Like
Yeah.
100% is 100% no matter how you do it. You
You're
know?
just gonna get tired quicker.
Yeah.
and
You-
probably
Burn,
done.
well, that's the girls who burn out. You know, they last,
Yeah.
because you could only last so long in that game. You know,
Yeah.
like 2 years, you know, if you can manage the 2 years being that crazy about it, then yeah, you know, good for you. You've done a good job. That's better than most. But for most part, it's like, you know, and those are the girls who have the eating problems after shows and stuff where they're like, yeah, I developed kind of an eating disorder or whatnot. I'm like, well, you
were too hardcore.
you had zero, like all you did was eat chicken for 2 years. Yeah. Like you, of
Yeah.
course you're going to want to eat anything as soon as you're not on a
Yeah.
show, you're going to want to eat
Gates
everything
were
you see.
open.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
it's just, you know, one of those things. So anyway,
Yeah.
I'm glad I've seen that with you. And then how has it been? How long has it taken for you guys to get used to the 2-a-day thing with your bodies itself? Like, I imagine there was
I don't know if I'm still used to it.
yeah,
I don't know.
I would say the first 2 weeks, maybe. It was more like, it's this thing with when you're working out usually once a day. It's like you work out and then you can like relax and go on with your day and like not think about the workout anymore. And I really had to get into the mindset of working out, body is tired, relax, and then, oh, wait, I have
I
to
gotta go back.
get into the zone again
yeah,
for like the
For a tougher
for
workout.
for the nervous like system workout. I think that took maybe 2 weeks, and it's still sometimes like a struggle. I would say,
Yeah.
if anyone is considering like doing this type of workouts, I would say you have to lean on discipline rather than motivation, because sometimes when we go work out later at the night, we're tired.
I'm
To
tired.
be
I
honest,
cried.
like
I cried.
yeah.
She literally had to hug me. Oh my gosh.
yeah,
Twice.
You've
I
been
cried.
tense.
yeah. Tina is emotional.
Really,
Really?
you seem so tough, Tina.
Yeah.
I
right?
know, guys. Don't let it fool you.
She's
I have my moments.
soft.
I'm a little soft sometimes. It really like broke me one day. I don't know. I think I had a lot going on in my head, and just like my personal life, I had something going on. So I think that kind of got to me. And then the workout was grueling. So I'm like, it just hit me all of a sudden like a ton of bricks. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
It's
sorry,
a-
Elizabeth, I'm crying.
It's a lot. I mean, it is a lot.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
your nervous system, like we talked about that, like once that gets taxed, I mean, it's a whole nother level of feeling tired, like mentally tired, physically tired, both of those blended together. It's just like, wow.
Yeah,
And our sleep is so important. Oh, we go to bed kinda early.
Do you?
It starts hitting like
Yeah.
9 p.m. I'm like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm tired.
9
I
or
want to
10.
sleep.
So
Yeah.
something you guys need to, something for people out there that want to manage to be aware of is they need to be sleeping. That's
Be
gonna
on
be a
with
huge
your
thing.
Oh yeah.
Are you guys, how
Yeah.
many hours
Yeah.
of sleep are you getting in?
I'm aiming for at least 8.
Yeah, I do like
Um,
7 or 8.
Okay, so regular.
Sometimes 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I could,
Yeah.
I would prefer like 8 or 10. But now I have like some online clients back home, and back home we are like 8 hours ahead of Las
Yeah.
Vegas. So that means when I have clients at 8 in the morning, it's like 4 in the afternoon back home. So, but if not, I would probably sleep longer.
Yeah.
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 Um.
Yeah, sometimes I take naps. between the
yeah.
I'll just hit like a wall. I'm like, oh, I'm zapped. Like I'll have a lot of energy for the morning workout, and then like an hour or two after, I'm like, oh, I gotta go take a little like just power nap. Sometimes it really just wakens you back up and you're ready to go for the later workout. But yeah, sleep. I really notice a difference when my sleep is on and when it's off.
Yeah. And something that has been like, I feel like I've learned so much about my body while I've been here. For example, working out for the second workout, I can feel tired, but it's like the discipline is, of course we do it. And then when we get there, it's actually not so bad because it's been very interesting with this morning workout. I really like the way my muscles feel in the evening, even though I'm tired after the first workout. When we have been resting and recovering for 4 hours and hit the gym again, it's like the muscles are just like, for example, I feel it best in the leg extension. I think it's the first exercise in the second workout. And when you do it, the muscles are just like, oh, they're just ready. You don't need those 20 minutes to like get in the groove again. So it's been this learning process with, I can actually do more than I think I can.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's been.
So you feel like maybe throughout this really aggressive approach that you're having better like neuromuscular connection, like you're.
Yeah.
Oh,
for
absolutely.
sure. Yeah.
So you've almost like trained your nervous system to be a little bit more active, I guess, if it's just faster recruitment.
Yeah.
The muscle
Yeah.
to mind or
Mind muscle connection. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 100% there for the evening lift. I'm like, oh, yep, there's
Okay.
a hammy.
Yeah.
Like on the first go around. Like, boom.
And that's after the priming workout. But even on your priming workouts, do you feel it better now too than when you first started, or is that something that's a little more active too?
Yeah.
Okay, so like
Better
the whole process, net results. Obviously, you're putting on some muscle, but the other net benefit has been maybe some better neuromuscular activity, and hopefully you guys can sustain that. Maybe,
Yeah.
That's cool.
For sure. Yeah, kind of like the PAP that we talked about in the last episode. Like that's what we're trying, and I can like feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's PIP?
PAP. So post activation potentiation. Like, so
Okay.
you're reaching the maximum potential a muscle can contract after it's been activated. So post activation.
Okay.
So like basically it states that once you activate them, like once you lift something, it's going to be able to lift, the muscle will be more active. And so theoretically you can maybe lift more the second time type of thing and lift with more contraction of the muscle. So that's what you're doing with your morning lifts, is getting everything active. When you get back in there, your nervous system is more fired up. So ideally you'd be recruiting more muscle fiber in that second workout, which is why you're going after it with the heavier loads. So yeah. So
I think my biggest struggle in the morning lift though is because I'm used to working out in the morning and period. That was the end of my day for working out. But my biggest struggle is not wanting to do the heavy lift in the morning because that's when I feel, sorry.
Just pull it in a little. There you go.
There we go. Sorry. Hi guys. Can you hear me now? I think, the biggest struggle is the morning lift. That's when I feel like my energy is at its peak. So it's really hard not to do the heavy lift in the morning because it's just high volume. It's like complete opposite. The morning is high rep, high volume, and then the evening is low rep.
Yeah, it's
low
still
volume.
Yeah, it's decent volume.
Heavy.
It's still not, it's still
Heavy.
not, the volume's
Yeah.
always pretty high. And that's one of the things what I do with a lot of the team elite athletes is we do, we don't do a ton of cardio, but we do pretty high volume workouts, that
Which
kinda
is
makes up for it,
kind of endurance training in itself. That's
Yeah.
how I feel in the morning. I'm like, this is actually kind of cardio. And I was complaining to Ashley a couple weeks ago. I'm like, I miss my cardio. I really want cardio. I love it. I love the way cardio makes me feel. I'm crazy. But after I thought about it, I'm like, you are kind of doing cardio with these morning lifts because you're doing high volume and it's a very short rest period. So, and my heart rate gets kind of high during it. So it does feel like cardio.
It's like a mini hit.
Yeah,
it's like a
yeah.
mini
I've
hit.
been looking at my, because I have like my Apple Watch, so sometimes I'll be looking at my heart rate while I do some compounds lift that we go like 20 to 25 reps, and my heart rate hits like 173.
Nice.
Yeah, same.
And that's
That's a
what
hit,
is that
for
like?
sure.
85% of
Yeah, because
of
how old
my-
are you? 24?
4.
So yeah, 220 minus 24.
Yeah,
that
would
puts
be
you at
like
196. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's probably right there. Yeah.
yeah.
Probably about 85%. I
Yeah.
imagine. Yeah. So you're talking the Corvonin. But yeah, no, that's so what else advice wise would you give people that want to try something like this? Because I think this is what's gonna happen with this, unfortunately. So people are gonna see your guys' results of how you guys have changed your body composition in 2 months, which is, for both of you has been pretty good, pretty extreme. I think that what's really obvious is the roundness, fullness, and density of both of you. I think that the roundness is there too, because you're so active with like, with your workouts that you're super glycogen loaded, right? Because you're always pumping blood and eating a ton of carbs and eating a ton of food.
Yeah.
So you're just round and bubbly. Yeah. It's like, so you're round and bubbly. And then, you could see the visual difference on your guys' body composition too in that 2 month period. So I think a lot of people are going to say, you know what, I'm going to do this. I want to do this. And I think not everyone is ready for it. So I would highly not recommend it for almost everyone. Some people, maybe you could do it. Maybe you're a college student who's in their third year of working out, second year of working out, and you have the summer off, and maybe it's a good time for you to do that. Mm-hmm. But it's a pretty specific situation, and you need to have body fat that's low enough where you can handle the extra calories too. Yeah. So otherwise you're going to run into issues where we're like, okay, we need to have a diet week. And so we want to minimize those as much as possible because you need to spend that time recovering. But it is what it is if you have to have it, if it has to happen. So what would you say in terms of people who want to do this? What do they need to prepare for? What have been the like
mentally or physically?
The physical requirements, I guess. You guys have said you've slept more.
I think you really got to listen to your body.
Yeah.
I really have. Yeah. Cause like we talked about being a robot and just being so disciplined and no, if my body is like, no, you're genuinely tired, my muscles go all day. They're fine. But everything else that I'm training is just, I'm starting to feel it. I'm like, oh, I'm tired. Like if I need to take a rest day, which sometimes I can't, I'll just power through it. But I'm like, listen to your body. If something hurts, like if it's not your muscle, it's like a joint that's hurting. Okay, don't do that. Go a little bit lighter. Like don't kill yourself to make that. Is it really going to make a difference? So, I don't know.
Yeah, I would say too that it's not something like you would not go from training three times a week, which is fine for some people, like it's enough, to doing 2 times a day, 6 times a week. Like for example, before I came out here, we have been working together since like in the beginning of October, and we had been working my volume up, especially for the legs, like for the glutes, because that has been our focus for October, November, December, for like 3 months before I was going into the 2-a-day workouts. And that has been very important. Like before I got here, I had training like 6 times a week, once a day, and legs or like glutes were full sessions 3 times a week. But on my upper days, I was still getting a glute pump. So I was hitting glutes 6 times a week already before I got here for 3 months. And
dang,
I think that's important.
Yeah, but it was like very light pumps.
Yeah,
just like a little, just like high rep, real quick.
Yeah.
Like
3 exercise, 9 sets or something, like 9 or 10 sets. But still, I think that has helped. Like it's something that you have to build up. And if you're someone who is already, like if you are quite new and you are progressing at like, let's say 12 sets per muscle group a week still, why would you go up to all the way where we are now?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. It's a big step.
I feel like you already have to be training somewhat intensely and then jump into this next level intensity.
There's levels to it. And that's the problem is that we'll run into is you'll get some, and this is what I talked about. I think it was my last podcast actually. Because you're going to get exercise science guys who'll be like, oh, you shouldn't do that. It's overtrained, this, that. Like, and I'm like, dude, your guys' studies, again, have zero relevance to an advanced bodybuilder who's eating, sleeping, living bodybuilding, who is doing nothing but that, who's worked out this much for years to get there, right? So it's a different thing. And even I was like surprised that you could get away with that. But then I started seeing the wellness division, which really opened my eyes to some things. Because in Brazil, they've been doing it like that for years, where these girls are working out legs 5 days a week. And I'm like, hard 5 days a week. And I'm like, shit, they're doing it. Like, I thought we were pushing it like 3 days a week. Like,
we're not doing anything. We're lazy.
I was like 3 days a week. These girls I'm going to crush these girls 3 days a week. And then like 3 days a week, then I'd pull back and go 2 days a week sometimes. And like, and then I was like, man, these Brazilian chicks, like they're doing 5 days a week. It's crazy. They have gyms out there that are all legs. It's like our gym here is like all legs.
They do.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's like a very common thing. And I was like, man, but it's like it's like quad focus day, but still they're doing glutes. Then it's like hamstring and glute focus day. Then it's like quad focus day. And I'm like, man, they are really pushing the volume. And it doesn't make sense on paper. You see this and it goes against everything that we talked about or everything in school that they're going to teach you, right? Which is honestly useless in bodybuilding. And so it's like, this is the people who are winning shows and doing things are always doing things different than the guys that are telling you what you should be doing, which is really funny. Because the guys, all these experts, I'm like, you're an expert, but how many pro wins do you have again? I'm like, oh, that's right, none. So maybe you should get that guy that has like 40 over there talking. Like maybe he has something to say that he's actually right.
Yeah, he's smart.
Yeah, that's the one. Is practical application is a lot different than book smarts when it comes to bodybuilding. Yeah. And so so we've been able to push your volume. It looks like you're recovering well with it, listening to the body, doing the deload. So I've been learning a lot from it too, because I've never seen firsthand so closely with someone, because obviously my clients are all online and whatnot, but like seeing and talking to you guys and seeing how you guys are doing and, watching you guys and like just hearing about your
journey.
Yeah.
I've learned so much about my body. That's so much.
I think that's one of the coolest things is like you guys really committed to it, which is crazy to do.
Yeah. Maybe because I didn't know what I was getting myself into. Like I knew, but it didn't really click in my brain. And I got here and got a couple days into it. I'm like, okay, this is what we're doing.
Yeah. It was like Tina came in like on one phone call. That was crazy. Yeah. So she was out here for the Olympia and me and her just vibed. We were just like, got along good. I'm like, she'd be actually really good. Thanks. For this, because she's got a good personality for it, and like I'm
just goofy.
Yeah, like being on like video and stuff for the content, like the house, which we were going to do a lot of content with. And then I was like, she'd be good. And then Elizabeth came out, and I was like, yeah, and it'd be good they would get along good too. Like I felt like you needed someone like Tina to like bring you out of your
We
shell.
actually wanted to personally thank you. Like, did you know that we would just click? Did you just like think her personality, they'll be best friends?
So I felt like there was so here's what's funny is like building my team of like trainers and coaches and whatnot. I've always been really good at picking talent, right? Like finding talent and seeing that.
You're like a talent agency.
Yeah.
Team Elite Physique Talent Agency.
When I was working at 24 Hour Fitness, we'd have big crews, like 19 trainers under me and stuff. And like, I would always find the right talent, even though on paper, it maybe didn't make sense. I'm like, no, they fit really well with us. And so when you were out here for a few days, I was like, you know what? Tina would be good for like breaking her out of her shell. Tina's fun. Like it would be a good match for those two. And like, I thought that would be perfect. Yeah. It was actually, I'm happy you guys like
so good. We're like going to be lifelong friends. Yeah. I'm like, not only are we making muscle gains, but I also gained a lifelong friend. It's been cool.
That one, I'm happy that one worked out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you guys fully committing to like, how do you even do that? How did you get, like you had to do a lot because you were coaching soccer, you were working at the gym, you were serving, and then you were like, I'm gonna.
Which I still have my job when I go back.
That's really cool.
They're like, go ahead. They're so supportive of my sport. They're like, go do your thing.
Nice to be able to take like a 2-month break too, then before you go back into work.
I'm like, I want to miss home.
Yeah,
I want to miss my bubble, which I don't know if I do. I like it out here.
Yeah, Tita's debating on moving to Vegas eventually.
One day.
Be
in Vegas. I feel like Ashley said, this is the bodybuilding mecca. Like it's really grown here. This is, I don't know. It's very motivating to be in this environment, especially training here.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this gym.
Yeah.
I don't have to do my makeup. I can just roll in here.
You should see all the DMs I get of people that want to get in here. Every day I'll get like 5 people. Hey, I'm going to be there. Can I work out? I'm like, it's the Team Elite gym, except for the weekends. I want to keep it exclusive. I just don't want to deal with everyone always here all the time. It's just not. I don't want to be. Yeah.
You have to monitor it probably too much, and
it gets in the way.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I love people, but it also gets in the way. That's why we have the once a month where everyone can come in, no matter where you're from, type of thing. But yeah, it gets to be a lot because people come in and then they have good intentions, but they want to ask questions and they want to take pictures and stuff, and it interrupts the day of work. And it's like, it's great. It's nice to be in that position, but also like, I don't want to be here all day every day because we have 10 people visiting and asking questions, and it's just you want to be nice, and it takes 20 minutes, 30 minutes each person. That's an extra at 10 people. That's 300 minutes a day. That's a lot of time you're giving away a week where you can't apply to your work, or I'm married now, I want to get home. So it's like
totally
so it does, but it's funny because it's one of the things that people are always asking me about. Like, can I get in? Hey, I'm gonna be in town. Can I get in? I'm like, yeah, sorry.
My gosh.
Team Elite, you can, but
we do have to say though, we drive by. Obviously, we drive in and out of this gate a lot, and we always look over to see if your car is here. And there'll be like times at the 7, 8 o'clock at night, we're like, dang, Adam is such a hard worker. He's still there. He's like, we just love his work ethic. It's so cool. I'm like, dang, it's a late day and an early day. I'll see you here early sometime. Like,
yeah,
killing it.
It's funny as Phoebe used to do that when she would walk in and out. It'd be like 10 o'clock. She'd be walking home and she'd take a video of my car and send it to me. She'd be like, go home. I know. You know what's funny is the office lights in here, they turn off. The whole gym, the electricity turns off at 10. Like it's just like a energy
Does
saver.
it? Okay.
Yeah, you need the timer. You know, if you come in
Oh.
between 10 and like 6 a.m., you need to hit the timer. It just saves energy in case we forget to turn off the lights.
Yeah.
And when those lights go off at 10, I'm like, okay, I should go. I'm like, is it so spooky in here? Because it's an old bank, so there's no lights back here, and you have to like walk through it, try to find. There's zero light. Like it's so dark.
10 p.m. is like curfew.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I better go home. Kimber's gonna kill me.
Yeah, you're gonna turn into a pumpkin. Get out of here. What are you doing?
So, all right. So now let's get to Vegas for you guys, okay? Because you're out here, you're in the fitness mecca, like you said. How's that been? Like, how's the transition been from your regular world to here? I mean, for you, obviously, it's a little different. For you, I still think it's a decent different. But you are California. You're in a busy, populated place in California.
Yeah.
But it's just I think for you, it's just the bodybuilding part of it.
Mm-hmm. We've checked out some pretty cool gyms too. I'd say Fit Club is our favorite.
Fit Club's dope. Yeah.
Yeah,
Such a cool gym.
And I love Gavin there, and Matt.
Yeah.
Manager Matt's always
People
there.
there. It's just a
Jennifer's
good-
always there.
good
Mark's
vibe.
there. Like everyone's just there. You know, it's
The
just
big
cool.
people.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just so nice. You know, everyone's
Yeah.
just it's cool at that gym. I don't know. I'm not like I've gone to all the bodybuilding gyms in the world, and
Of course you have.
Well, you know what? It used
That's
to be a
cool.
thing of mine. You know?
Oh, okay.
Well, here's the thing. You know, when you own a like contest prep team, like, and you travel to all these things, like everything's a tax write-off.
So you just take advantage.
Oh yeah, you live off. You know, I haven't really paid myself for years. So I just kind of lived off the company, and so when I traveled, it was a business expense, and I'd go to the gym and meet people and meet clients or whatever. So for years I just traveled and made excuses to go to gyms when I was single, you know, and I would just go to all these cool gyms. Or there was times where I would go to the airport, and it was funny. There was a girl in town visiting the prep center in Denver, and then I dropped her off at the airport, and then I was like. I dropped her off and I was like, yeah, I'm just going to go in there with you. I'm just going to go somewhere this weekend. Like it was like on a Friday or something. I was dropping her off. She was visiting. Yeah. And I was like, she's like, where are you going to go? I was like, I don't know where the cheapest ticket is that I have clients at. Right. So I ended up in like North Carolina or something. It was like a $30 ticket from Denver. And then I went to this gym out there. It was actually called the Elite Gym or Elite Fitness Gym, you know.
Meant to be.
And then I like just said I was there. Then if I have any clients in here, then I met like 4 clients and stuff from like they drove in. So it was like you could always make it work.
Yeah.
I think I went to like almost every cool gym in the U.S.,
That's
which is
so
every bodybuilder
fun.
one. But my favorite one was probably Metroflex Long Beach because the vibe there is like super cool. Metroflex
In Long Beach?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or, yeah. It's in Compton.
Okay.
Metroflex Compton, Long Beach they call it. And then probably Fit Club after that. Yeah, it was
Really?
Armbrust Pro Gym's up there. Legends Pro Gym in California. Legends,
Where's that at?
what do they call it? Legends Barbell? Legends not Pro Gym. It's in Victorville. I go there before I drive to see my mom. Like I'll stay there for like a day, work out.
Is your
at the
mom
gym.
in Victorville?
She's in Orange County now.
Oh, she's in
Yeah,
Orange County.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're from the LA area. But
Okay.
yeah, so those are the cool gyms, and then there's like Destination Dallas is cool too. But yeah, those are like my favorite
So
gym.
many
Fit Club
cool
is just
gyms.
like down the street, just so it's awesome. The
know.
vibes there, cool. You know.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
cool.
So
We
cool.
actually got really brave the other day and went to not brave, I should say, but we just walked over to Planet Fitness because I told her, I was like, you want to go somewhere where you're going to feel really buff and good about yourself? And we did a shoulder day there. That was fun. Like,
Yeah.
you just feel like the most jacked person there. No discredit to people who go there, but
Ashley goes there.
well, Ashley's
She's there.
definitely the buffest person
She's there all the time. It's so
She
funny.
probably stands out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, people are nowhere there. They message me. It's funny where she works out. People message me. I saw Ashley today, and I'm like, where? They're like, oh, Planet Fit. I'm like, yeah,
I
that's
love
right.
I mean, it still works. It's a gym. Like, I don't mind it.
Yeah, that's been a kind of our way of exploring Vegas a bit too, like
Yeah.
trying different gyms. We call it gym crawl.
Yeah.
Gym crawl.
Like instead of, it's our way of doing like pub crawl, but
Yeah.
we're bodybuilders. So
Like, well,
Yeah.
we work out twice a day, so I guess we go to different gyms.
Yeah, if you're in Vegas, you got to go to all the bodybuilder gyms, which is, you know, so Fit Club's pretty much every bikini competitor's favorite gym is Fit Club. That's pretty much it. And then ours, if they're coming, but you know, it's only elite girls can get in here. And then Dragon's Lair for bodybuilders.
We did that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was okay.
The machines are pretty big for bikini girls. Like it's more bodybuilder.
Oh, every
based
machine is big for me.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
exactly.
2 feet tall.
Yeah, it's because they use that. Yeah, the equipment they use is it's more bodybuilder suited. You know,
Yeah.
and it's more of a bodybuilder gym, you know, type of thing. And then I think like the second bikini gym here would be after Fit Club would be Elevation.
Oh, we want to check that one out.
Oh, you haven't been there
Yeah.
yet too?
We talked about that.
Oh, we
Yeah,
haven't
a lot
been
of
there yet.
a lot of bikini girls work there. One of the owners is a bikini pro, Lisa. So,
Oh.
and then there's Powerhouse, which is another good gym. That's like a good mix. That gym's a good mix. They have like Korean equipment. It's like half Korean and half, I want to say half Japanese equipment or something. Hide owns that gym, Hidetada Yamagishi. So
Yeah.
he owns the powerhouse there with Iris. And so he got this equipment from, I want to say either it's all Korea and something else. I thought it was Korea and Japan. It's like equipment that you haven't seen before, but it's really, really good stuff.
Like it's unique.
It's,
Yeah,
Is that the one you
it's
brought
just
up?
really high quality stuff.
Powerhouse,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it
Haven't
fits
been
good for bikini competitors too. It's not like the
Okay.
big, like the assault stuff's really big and heavy and kind of wider set on shoulders and stuff.
Okay.
So like it's not the best fit for most bikini, but the powerhouse is another good one. And I guess they're opening another one too. Like there's like there's that and there's
Like franchising it?
no, there's another bodybuilder gym they're opening up too.
Oh.
Yeah, I forget. Would you know what is it called? Well, yeah, someone sent it to me the other day, and I'm like, damn, another gym. It's on Rainbow too, another bodybuilder gym. Yeah, there's like so many, and there's one more. What's the other, the original bodybuilder gym before we were here, before Fit Club was here? There's another one up north, which is more of a hardcore gym, and I forgot what that. I didn't even go to that one anymore.
We need a lifeline.
That used to be the
Who
only
knows?
gym I'd go to when I came to Vegas because there was the only bodybuilder gym.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just so many bodybuilder gyms out here.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's like
Yeah.
5 posing rooms now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fit Club has a posing room.
It's great.
Nice in there.
Yeah, when we first when we bought this building, there was no bodybuilder gyms. It was only the one way up north. And I was
Really?
like, oh yeah, it'd be cool. We're the only like one with like a posing room. Like we're the only ones. And then
Yeah,
by the
you're
time
so special.
by the time we remodeled it, there was Fit Club Dragons right before we even finished. And then Powerhouse came in. Then
Wait,
Elevation
Dragon
came
Slayer
in.
has a
Oh
posing room?
wow.
Yeah, it's a small posing room. Powerhouse does too.
Okay.
Elevation, Fit Club just got theirs. Yeah, everyone has one. It's crazy. There's like 4 or 5 posing rooms.
They're getting with the times.
Yeah, ours is the best still.
You're the OG.
Yeah, this one's
We're the OG posing room. Yeah, we're the biggest.
OG posers.
We have the setup lights and we have the biggest posing. We're the most square footage, I guess you'd say. So,
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, so what are your thoughts on that? Are you going to move out here?
Yeah, I want to.
Yeah.
I love it out here. Vegas is like
Cost of living's way better.
because
out
I
here.
grew up in California. I mean, California kind of. I'm a Cali girl
Yeah.
through and through. I know I am, but it's like since I grew up there, it's like I don't want to be there forever. That's not where my life is at. And it's just now that I've gotten competing and that found my true passion and everything, I'm like Vegas is more. But see, I wouldn't live like here in Vegas. I would probably live like on the outskirts.
Yeah.
Maybe like Henderson or somewhere a little bit nicer. Because Henderson is like exactly what it looks like where I live.
Yeah. This is downtown. So you
Yeah.
get the grungy downtown.
The
area.
grunginess, yeah.
Yeah. But you live in the country club right now. It's dope in there.
Oh, I love it in there.
Yeah. Of course.
Actually, yeah.
It's so nice in there. It's such a different
is.
world in the gate.
Yeah.
Oh, 1,000%. You walk out, you're like, oh, it's
You better have
real
a gun.
world. I got a knife. I'm ready to go.
It's funny. When I first got here, I was like, don't walk through the alleys around here.
Oh,
Like,
we did. Adam, we walked through the alley last night after our
Why
workout.
you do? You're just,
It yelled at us.
Yeah.
There was a speaker that's like, this is private property.
Did they
You're
really?
trespassing.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
I think I
new.
almost peed.
This
It was
alley?
scary. Yes.
oh, that's new.
Is
Oh,
it?
that's cool.
Oh.
Well, good for them. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
My
if
heart
it was,
skipped a beat.
It's downtown, you
Yeah,
know?
we almost started like running. It was like, please leave.
Yeah, it was scary.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's really funny is I used to get on Phoebe for doing that, like walking all around, you know, like through the alley. She was like, she was always like, stop being so like overprotective, right? Type of thing.
Now I get it.
But she's like, no, she's like, I wear a big hoodie and a big sweater. I look like, I look like someone who'd be walking around.
I blended
She
with
like-
the homos.
She she showed up in like this big hoodie, like all, you know, meathead 6 a.m. type of thing. We're like, all right, you're gonna be fine. But yeah, girls walking around their crop tops, stuff like that. Don't walk through the alleys.
Okay,
But
no.
Yeah, the country club's really nice in there. It's like
It's safe.
Yeah, it's super nice in there.
There's a little golf course and everybody's nice. Because I go on a lot of morning walks and people always, good morning.
Yeah,
How are
it's so different.
They're so sweet.
Yeah,
And then
it's
you
just-
walk outside the gate, you're like, oh, this is real world.
Yeah,
Here we go. It's like night and day. It's crazy.
So, anything else? What else would you guys say about for anyone wanting to do this? You know, we're getting on with anyone who wanted to just say, hey, I want to go in, commit 2 months of my life, 3 months of my life. I think 2
it's
months
worth
is a
it.
good time. I think
2 months is good.
3. Yeah, imagine 9 months. That was the original plan.
It's like having a baby.
There's no way. There's
I'm-
not
No,
this workout
we-
at least. Not this
no,
workout at least.
no.
Yeah,
We would have to do it a bit differently, I guess. Yeah.
but 2 months. What do you think?
I would say it's funny that you asked because we actually talked about this last night.
Mm-hmm.
Tina was like, before we went to bed, she was like, imagine if we did this at home, like at our own,
Yeah.
like back home. And I tried to like imagine, and I can't see how I would make it work if I like think about how my life was before I got here, because because I worked in like soccer, so we had training in the afternoon and we had matches in the weekends, and I was thinking like, but when would I have my second workout? Because
Yeah.
when I was back home, I would like have some clients and then I would work out. And sometimes I didn't finish my workout. So I went like to soccer training with like the players. And then when I finished, I had to go back and do the last 3 exercises after. But it was already like 9 p.m. and I'm just thinking I could not have done a whole workout again. So I guess if you do it, you really have to know that it can be your first priority.
Yeah.
Because
It really is your first priority.
yeah, because if not, it's just gonna be a burden. Yeah. So everything, you have to be able to schedule everything around it.
But I feel like being here in Vegas with this environment and being close to the team, being close to this gym, it's just kind of the perfect setup to crush it.
Yeah.
Like it really is. Like I would have still been motivated at home, but here it's just a whole new level. Like being here and seeing you guys and seeing Ashley, you know, it's just when I see Ashley work out, I'm so motivated. I'm like, go.
Yeah.
Like she's so motivating to be around.
She's a little machine.
She is a machine. She kills it. And
I don't get it still. Yeah.
yeah, it's still going. It's like, are you just the Energizer Bunny? You never run out of energy? She's awesome. When I see her work out, I'm like, okay, you can do it. Go.
It's fun. I used to have people that were, I used to have, this is no knock on anyone, but I would be like, yeah, this girl's like, just like Ashley. This girl's just like Ashley. She has a dedication just like it. And then over time, over a period of time, and I'm like, yeah, no one's like her.
Nope.
No one has
She's
that.
special.
It's
Special
totally,
breed.
it's a different level. When you're dedicated at a level that doesn't require motivation, that's a different thing. Like it's
It
like,
really is.
it's just, no, like I live this. There's no motivation needed. Like it's so past the point of normalcy. You know, it's like, you can't teach someone that. It's like you either have that or you don't. It's just like
you gotta want it.
It's like a talent on its own, you know? Like there was an interview I saw once with Ronnie Coleman, and it was like, it was a crazy interview because it really showed me, I don't even think he realized he did it, but it showed me what it takes. And he was in a prep, and he was in a longer prep, and he won the Olympia. Then after the Olympia, one of his friends was like, he's like, so, hey, now that you won the Olympia, you tell me how many times did you cheat on your diet, you know? And then he was like, cheat on my diet? Like,
I was like, what is that?
he was like that's a real question. Like to him, it was so weird to hear that as a possibility, as a question. Like it was like almost like he was like,
He's like, what are you even asking?
Yeah, it was like a different language to him. He was like,
yeah.
what do you mean cheat on my diet? Like for real questioning it, you know, like, and you know how many times he's like, the thought never even crossed my mind. Like it didn't even. I'm like, man, that's insane. Like.
Yeah.
You hear about competitors complaining about their diet all the time and like, you know, the suffering on Instagram or like a badge of honor. And you hear like Ronnie Coleman's like, he's not boasting about it. He's not bragging about it. He's just like,
he just does it.
Why would I cheat on my diet and mess up my progress? Why would I do that? Like it takes away from the goal. And it's like, it was cool. So cool to see it. I'm like, that's why he's a champion. You know, that's why he's a champion. And this is why you're complaining about your diet still, not anywhere in sport.
Yeah.
You know, like,
but people that complain about their diet, I'm like, how? There's so many cool things that make, like I just had her discover or introduce muscle egg to her when she first got here. She's blown away.
She's so good.
She's like, flavored egg whites? Now we have like 5 gallons in the fridge. We have all the flavors. We got Taste the Rainbow. Just open the fridge. Boom. Every flavor. But there's so many sauces and drink pads. So many cool things you can make. I'm like, the diet sucks?
Yeah.
Because you're not having a lot of it maybe, but you can taste it, make it taste good.
Yeah. And you can even increase the volume these days with like cauliflower rice and
lettuce,
you know, blending protein for air and stuff like that. Like there's so many things. I'm like, man, I don't understand because when I was dieting originally, like what you ate, the metrics bars and stuff that you'd have, the only option for protein bars was like, you know,
garbage.
You know, I competed later too, but that was like back in 2000. There was nothing available. You know, it was terrible. Protein shakes tasted terrible. Like everything. There was no sauces. There was nothing sugar free.
We have it so good.
Yeah. So like it was salt, pepper. You know, no
and
flavored waters.
Does that. But I got her to try some sauces recently. I'm like, see, she still doesn't hardly use it.
Like instead of like Mio water flavoring, we use just tea packets in our jugs of water.
Did you have stevia?
I didn't have any. I don't know if there was maybe. I don't know. The problem is here's the thing. This is like ages me, right? But I've been working in nutrition stores since 1998. So I was six. I was
you did just age yourself.
Yeah, I was 16 years old working in nutrition stores in 1998, right? So. And then that's when I started getting into I was already bodybuilding at that point, but that's when I started like getting into helping people and stuff and nutrition and stuff like that. And then, but yeah, what we did, we just put tea packets in the 1 gallon jugs, and then we just, by the end of the day, it was,
Like green tea?
whatever. Yeah, that's how but that was our water flavoring. There was no water flavoring. Like there wasn't, at least it wasn't, there was no internet either. So like, I don't know if there was water. Like if you're local.
No Mio, no internet.
Well, the thing is, if you know what I mean, because now it's like, oh, this is available, and instantly everyone knows about it because it was like, hey, I tried this new thing on Instagram, right? Back then, it's like, you better hope someone at your gym is doing it, because that's how you're going to find out about it.
Right.
Oh, there's this supplement shop that's how we'd find stuff. There's this supplement shop like in Yorba Linda. That's like, it's a 40-minute drive, but they have this water flavoring and it's sugar free. We're like, what are you talking about?
What is magic?
Did you hear about Frank? He's got this water flavoring over there. It's sweet. Let's all go to there. I'll get out there this weekend. Now it's like, on Instagram,
pop on Instagram,
click the link to Amazon. It's at your house in 40 minutes. So it's like, it's just
magic.
a different, maybe there was and I just didn't know about it, but it wasn't at my supplement store or in my circles.
The world is so small now.
Yeah, it's just totally different, so.
It's really
literally how you found out about stuff. It's like,
yeah.
Yes, so.
That's crazy.
When someone would do something different with an exercise, we'd lose our mind.
Yeah.
Did you see what he kind of did like this? He kind of like.
I know. Times have changed.
Oh, so the learning curve is way faster now.
Absolutely.
Way faster. So, all right, wrapping this up. Final thoughts on All In Bikini Prep. What are your thoughts? Final thoughts.
It's pressure.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I love it. Like I said, I've had my up and down days, but I feel like I've gained so much more than I lost, even though I don't feel like I've lost anything. But, I've had my hardships in this times. Like, we've had really good talks about everything and enjoying this journey together. And just, I really recommend it. Also, in the progress I've made. I actually did a comparison photo of my check-in the week before I came here, and then the check-in now. And I was, like, blown away.
Yeah. I
was like, is that me?
Yeah, I would say
it's even more motivating to see results.
I would say looking at both of you, it's like it looks like you guys got 9 months of work in like 2 months.
That's how I feel.
Yeah. It looks that way. Like like 9 months to a year,
Yeah.
Especially for advanced people, probably like a year. But
yeah. But fortunately, it's not like we started lifting when we first got here. Like we both had a good background and foundation before we established all of this. So yeah. What are your thoughts?
I would say the first thing that comes to mind is you're able to do more than you think you can do. Like you can actually tolerate and do more than you think. And because I was someone too, like you talk about research and stuff. Like I like looking into research and see what's new and what's on training, because I used to be self-coached before we worked together. So I would kind of follow this protocol, the research of, okay, how many sets do I use per muscle group? I'm going like somewhere between 10 and 20 and maybe a bit higher, like 24, and like following that. But as you say, a lot of the times, like bodybuilders and the practical, like us that are doing the practical, are oftentimes like in front of the research. And that's kind of something that I have now tried on myself. Like when we got into it, I'm like, ooh, this is a lot of volume. Like, okay, let's try. And now that I see the results, I'm like, okay, what is the word? Have a new perspective on it. Yeah, that has been very interesting.
Yeah, we gained a whole new perspective on like bodybuilding and training and diet and everything.
Yeah.
It's been really, really cool. I recommend it to anybody who really wants to. But like I said, you can't just start this and this is your first time ever lifting. Like,
it's
you're going to be so...
You'll deload every week. 1 week on, 1 week off.
Exactly. Not worth it.
And that's something I've learned too is... like so many stuff about my body, for example, because I used to have deloads in my program as well. Like I would, for example, like increase intensity for maybe like 8 weeks, and I would like try and feel like, okay, do I need a deload now? Am I like plateaued? Do I need to like get the fatigue down? And it's kind of hard to feel. And now that I've been here, I'm like, okay, this is how it feels when you need a deload. Mm-hmm. So that has been interesting too. Yeah, because for example, now actually feeling, okay, this is how it feels when the training interrupts your sleep because the nervous system is so hammered.
So
Like for example, after
overtrain.
our leg days before we had our deload, my sleep was bad. Like
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
like very bad. And
Oh yeah.
that has been very interesting because it's things that you can try and read about them. Like, okay, you need a deload when you feel like you're not progressing anymore, your sleep is bad and this and that. But it's very hard to like, okay, but when do I feel that? And that's something I've learned. Like, okay, this is how it feels.
Yeah.
You have
Like
to
Adam,
feel it before. Like,
Oh yeah. Like Adam, you've talked about people who think they're overtraining.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, but are you really?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I used to think that, but I look back and I'm like, oh, honey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're just
exactly.
sore.
You're just
Yeah.
sore. But
Yeah.
because now I'm still sore from my leg day that was 3 days ago.
Yeah.
You know, and today is our most aggressive leg day.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
and I feel it when I'm at the point of like, oh, not overtraining, but you really have been hitting it hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're sore for multiple days. It's affecting your sleep.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know the feeling of overtraining now at this point.
Yeah.
But I keep going.
This is your guys' last week before your next deload, right? This week? Is this the week?
We have
Could you leave
we have like 2 more rounds of the program.
2 more rounds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you leave on the 9th, is it?
I
Or
think
no, you're
we
staying till
finish-
the 10th.
I think
Yeah,
10th or
yeah.
11th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you stop
Finish
working
it.
out on the 8th.
We want to plan it
Ninth.
so that our
Yeah.
deload is like basically our drive back, so we don't have to worry about like working out.
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna enjoy Vegas a little bit.
yeah.
Oh, we're gonna do a donut run too.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna do their cheat meal.
Don't tell my coach.
we're gonna do our cheat meal. We're gonna do like donuts in Vegas. It's gonna be
Pink box?
we're gonna do a bunch. We're not gonna eat a donut at every one, but like a piece of one at every one.
Okay,
You know,
piece.
We're gonna do like a
I'm not trying to blow
donut
up.
review. No,
Yeah.
we're gonna do this thing. We're just gonna do it on YouTube or something. But we're gonna bring Kimber and Melena's gonna come too. So
Cute.
for you guys who don't know, we're mentioning Melena now because she is the new Arthur.
She's pretty cool.
She's behind the cameras.
Yeah.
So
we like her.
yes. So anyway, I guess that's pretty much it. Yeah. But yeah, it's been
awesome.
fun seeing you guys out here crush it. It's been interesting. It's been learning for me too. Learning experience
That's true.
for me too.
Yeah, for you as well.
Yeah, everything happened the way I kind of thought
you're
it would
welcome.
happen. Yeah, I know.
Really? yeah.
Yeah, I was worried that the volume would be too high for
Okay.
I wasn't sure how often we'd need to do deloads. I was like, well, this is a super aggressive workout.
Mm-hmm.
They're like looking at, candidates of who was actually capable of doing this was very few people
I feel honored.
out of the applied, like a lot of girls would apply and I'm like, there's just no way you can handle what we're going to do to you,
Ah.
like, cause we're not like exercising. We're physically like torturing you, like,
Yes.
like mentally, physically, like we're doing something
Yeah.
to you. It's not really like a for
Yeah.
you thing.
Yeah.
It's like beating
But I
you
get
up.
benefit out of it too.
Yeah, it's a rough ride. I knew it was gonna be a
Yeah.
rough ride, and so there's a lot of girls. I was like, let's, they're like, yeah, I started working out 6 months ago. I'm like, it's just not. There's no way, it's just too much. So, and then it's like mentally too. Who's just gonna disappear at the house one day? Like I took a midnight flight to
What
home,
would you do if you were
Goodbye.
just all of a
kind of
sudden we
expected.
disappeared?
Well, the thing is, here's the
Like,
thing.
I'm out.
With you guys, there's a little bit more of like there's friendship there too. So I know you guys wouldn't, right? But with like all the
Yeah.
other people who applied, I don't have any relationship with them. They're just people who are applying, which, I still want to do something like that. But I think when we do it, we don't do it for 9 months. No one can hang. I don't think it's too much. It's too
Maybe
hard.
2 or 3 at the most.
Two's a lot. Even two's a
Even
lot.
two's
yeah.
been a lot.
Yeah. So two's like I think the perfect 2 or 3 is
Yeah.
like the perfect
with
amount,
a
right?
deload or 2 in there.
Yeah. And then you got to mesh personalities, of course. You got to make sure that that's right. And
Like
then
the 2 people.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then you also got to make sure that they can afford to have the calories, that they're lean enough to afford the calories, right? Because you can get caught up on that and get too far behind. Next thing you know, you're on a deficit with someone trying to do this, and they're gonna last like 3 days. So there's a
Yeah.
lot of like things to really go into on it. And I've learned a lot about it too. But one thing I didn't think was how mentally strong you'd need to be able to do it too. Because to me on paper, it's like, it's all fun. And I wish, I think of myself in my 20s or something.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, yeah, that I would, if I didn't have, work or whatever, and I could just dedicate it to bodybuilding when I was like super into bodybuilding, man, I would love to do that. Like that would have been so fun. So I think about it that way, but I don't think about it as like the mental struggle of only bodybuilding for 2 months too,
Yeah.
without doing anything else. It's a lot. To
It is
take
a
on.
lot. You're taxing the body at a whole new level.
Yeah.
But it can be fun because I've had workouts where I'm like, I get chills in my workout. I'm so excited. I'm like, oh, I feel so energized. I feel so good. You know, I get my calories are there. I have the fuel. Like, let's push it. And we motivate each other. Like, I see her working hard. I'm like, I got to work harder.
Yeah,
you know,
it goes both ways,
and we have so much fun. We're dancing and singing. And
So you guys
I hope you don't watch
noises.
the cameras here.
I always watch the cameras.
No.
It's on in my office, like 20. Do you see the cameras right
We
there?
joke about it. We're like, I hope he can't see us. We're just.
I can see and hear you if
Silent
I turn on the
disco.
sound. Of course, it's a camera. It's like normal technology.
Well,
There's like 16
we're just
cameras
having a
in here.
heyday out there. We're having a good time and building muscle at the same time.
So anyway, well, it's been fun having you guys here. We're gonna miss you.
Thank you.
I know. I'm kind of.
It's been so fun.
Yeah. I gave them. I told they could stay another month if they wanted to the house because we're not remodeling the house for a little while. But we're gonna do a full. You know what's cool is so what happened with the whole house thing. So I think I told some people, but what happened with the whole house thing is that you've seen. I don't know if I've shown you the blueprints of the new. You were there. You saw the
I was there,
blueprints.
yeah. I
but
saw
you
it.
didn't see them.
It looks good.
Yeah, we're gonna basically extend the whole house. So it's gonna actually. Well, they have to approve it, but the architect's been there, and we're adding on 3,600 and some change square feet. So the whole house will be like 6,000 square feet now, which is
Huge.
it's crazy. Yeah,
It's a
it's already 2,700, so it's adding 3,600, so whatever that is. I don't know.
Wow.
To it. So, but it's gonna be really great for the athletes. It's gonna basically separate the house into two like separate areas type of thing, and then I'm gonna actually move back in over there on the other side of it, and so we'll have like a separate entrance type thing and separate everything, so you guys could be there. But the reason we're doing it too is so we're gonna build like a big barbecue in the backyard, and so now we're gonna have our team lift. We'll have our posing seminars, and then we'll have our posing team lift and then barbecue like once a month for all the
I will
team.
drive out here 10
that's
hours just for
awesome.
that day.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to make it like more of like an event team thing. Like it's already now an event because you have the booty camp right after it, and so
Yeah.
it turns into this really fun thing. But now I want to do it where it's like a barbecue, and then eventually I want to do it where it's like we'll have bags set up too, where we could do like a cardio boxing class too that day. So you'd be like,
Oh yeah.
pose, workout, cardio, eat, like, and like a whole thing. It'd be like a 4 or 5 hour day
On a
once
Saturday,
month.
obviously.
That'll be
And
awesome.
then
Yeah,
people
that's
fly
fun.
in for it and whatnot. So
Weekend.
that's the plan. You know, make it. You know, the team stuff is where I really like the team environment stuff, having it available for
I
people.
love
That's
that.
it's really fun.
Yeah.
So-
that would be cool.
Yeah. So we'll as long as hopefully they approve it. But
The
it's-
house,
Yeah.
yeah.
but yeah, that's what we're trying to do.
Speaking
Yeah.
of, so I think she was contemplating doing a show potentially in June or whatever. I think is she staying out here for that show?
Yeah, the plan is that's why she's going to leave early. So the plan for everyone, so she only has 6 months out here, a year where she could stay out here on a visa. So right now she's used 2 of those 6 months up for this year. So the plan is she's going to start competing somewhere in the June, July timeframe, try to give it a run for a few months, hopefully get to the Olympia, and then she'd have to like leave again
Yeah.
and then come back because she
Like
only
a
has so
time
much time.
currency.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like spending. Yeah, it's like currency.
Spending.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
call it.
You only spend so much.
You have so much money and you
Yeah.
spend to be in America.
Yeah, it kind of sucks, but that's the way it is. You know, you use up those visas, you get stuck here, like a lot of people have.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a few people who've been stuck here and they can't go back to their country now.
Yeah.
Sucks. If you leave, if you expire, some of them, I don't know the situation, but some countries, I guess, or some visas, I don't know. I know 2 pros out here that have went past the time, and now that if they go home, they can't come back for 10 years.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So yeah, so it's like
That's,
that's like their whole career. 10 years from now, and a bikini competitor's career is like, you know,
Yeah.
you might not even be competitive at that point. 10 years later, who knows? So it's kind of crazy. Yeah. So
It's
they're
a big decision.
so yeah, you better do it right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Better do it right.
And that's kind of how I feel too. Like, because you said, yeah, we could like maybe stay longer and stuff, but we really have to I have to use my time so wisely
Yeah.
here and like, not just like living now. Like, this is so much fun and I just want to stay. Because, okay, but I'm planning on, like, my goal is Olympia. I'm not afraid to say that. And in case we get to that, I'm like, I have to have weeks left in November too. So it's, it's about using the time wisely. And I don't know if we make it sound like it's like we're doing this like very hard thing and it's only discipline and it's so tough. Like it is tough, but I would do it all over again if
Yeah.
I had the opportunity. Yeah, it's like
Because you have a natural passion for it.
yeah, and it's such a privilege that we actually have this opportunity and that we're able to do it. And
Yeah, we
I-
talk
I
about that
love
all
it.
the time.
Like,
Like we are so privileged to get to choose to suffer.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
not that I don't feel like I'm totally suffering. There's moments, But for the most part, I'm like, I love it.
Yeah.
Prep is fun. It's exciting. I feel like I thrive in prep. Like it's
Yeah, but not only prep, but I mean like just like being here and getting the opportunity. Like we make it sound like it's so hard and should everyone do it? I'm like, well, if you have the opportunity, I would do it all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's good
it's
to
been
hear.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Well, hopefully, and then we'll have fun your last couple days in Vegas and actually do something. So
we get coffee too.
yeah. Oh yeah, we can do the coffee spot.
I need coffee.
Yeah. You know,
coffee's my blood type. I love it.
When I've done it with Kimber a few times, where there's all these coffee places too. That's the cool thing about Vegas is you just never run out of new places. Like it's just
it's
many.
so overwhelming.
Yeah, there's so much stuff to do.
I Google cool things near me, and I'm like, holy moly!
I've been to. I take Kimber to all the she's a coffee nut, you know. Like
coffee nut.
I don't know if you call it coffee nut or fanatic.
Miss Dutch Bros, let's be real.
Dude, well, that's the problem. Is Dutch Bros is the only drive-through, right? You can't like sit at a Dutch Bros.
Yeah.
And so I take her to all these coffee spots. There's one we went to was like 30 minutes from here, and it was that one that was like really pretty inside. It was like really cute. It was like all
you guys
pink.
posted about it.
Oh yeah.
It's like super
cute.
pink, and it's a cute little date spot. It's called if you guys are in Vegas, it's called Miss Coco's. I think it's called Miss Coco's.
Yeah.
And the
cannolis.
Mrs. Coco's. No, that was a different one.
Oh, okay.
But they had like the gold flaked coffees and things
fancy.
Like that. Yeah, it was like super. It's like a very much an Instagram like coffee spot.
I'm all about it.
It was like 40 minutes from here, but we got there. The coffee's good, and we're like, yeah, Dutch Bros is still better. And then we go to like all these other places. I've taken her to so many. Samba Latte's another really good one. Samba Latte's bomb. Their lattes are my favorite lattes actually. But only the lattes. Everything else is like Dutch Bros is better. And then Kimber doesn't get the lattes because it's she's in prep.
Yeah.
So she's like Dutch Bros is better. So like everywhere to take all these places.
She's like, nope.
She's like Dutch Bros is better. And I'm like, gosh, it's so there's just like
Dutch Bros for life.
Dude, Dutch Bros they have it figured out, man.
Look, they even got you.
Dude, Kimber brought me this. Kimber spoils me. It's so bad. It's so bad. Yeah. No.
So spoiled.
Dude, breakfast. I eat what she's got. I don't know what to do with my life anymore. I'm like, I don't know. I haven't had caffeine in 3 days. I'm like, haven't eaten. And I don't know what to I fall apart now.
Good. That's great.
So anyway, guys, well, I guess that's it. So thank you guys for watching. If you have questions, shoot them in the comment section below. Maybe we'll do one of these before they leave, like a Q&A or something, just like a quick Q&A.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, about the prep house, about how they're going through. So leave them in the comment section on YouTube. We'll go through them and do maybe a Q&A on like Instagram or something before we leave. And follow Tina on Instagram. And then Elizabeth, how do I do yours on Instagram? Elizabeth Vang, right?
Yeah, exactly. Elizabeth Vang, like Elizabeth with an S and without the H and everything, and a Vang with an...
What are you even saying right now? E-L-I-S.
E-L-I-S-A-B-E-T.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like Elizabeth. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Elizabeth without the H and an no.
Yeah, and with an S and not a S.
So you're like, it's just Elizabeth, but without this and without that. And this,
I
and
appreciate
like this,
how
like,
basic I am.
Yeah, to Tina.
And then Elizabeth's like, hold on, let me write a novel of my name.
Yeah, and then like so Elizabeth Vang and then like underscore IFBB Pro.
Okay, there you go.
She's a pro.
And then we got to for you look for you at where?
Tina?
No, at what show?
Oh, what show I'm doing?
Yeah.
I think The Patriots.
And then
it's out there.
And then
your national show.
Which one?
USA's, Dubby.
Oh, USA's. Yeah, I just told Kimber that too. Yeah.
Melanie, did you get that? Okay.
And that's here. Yeah. Catch me in Vegas at USA's. But Patriots is like my warm-up show. Yeah. I'm ready.
Gosh. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank you guys.